Magnus doesn't know what hit him this game. Alexander Grischuk playing black. We've not seen a sacrifice like this in a long time. It was Thursday, 3-0 chess, just gone in July. Therefore, you got to play quickly, right? It's online, chess.com. Magnus with white. This is round 9, deep into the tournament. Both going for first place. And I love this. Pawn d5. Grischuk playing the Grunfeld defense, a rare bird at the top level, really fun positions. Black gives white the big center. It's one of these hyper modern openings. You attack it from afar soon, things like pawn c5, and this is why Magnus goes for this sideline here. No bishop c4 or knight f3, bishop e3, no. He plays a check. Now this is very provocative because you provoke pawn c3, you then drop off, and watch this, knight e2, b5 from Sasha, kicks back this bishop all the way, castles and a4. Magnus losing so much time, but are these pawns a strength? Are they overextended? Is black going to be able to get c5 still and undermine the centre? Will we see a different move? Pawn e5, striking in a different manner. Of course, you don't want to take and ruin this lovely centre. You don't want to push. That's not ideal for white in terms of a structure. This is the strongest move. Hold everything together. Bishop e6 is played. And now the best move in the position here is subtle. And it's this bishop d3 one. Because you stop bishop c4. You make c5 quite difficult. You know, b5's then hanging, and you hold your centre together in this manner. In the game, let's back up here. We saw Magnus push the f-pawn down the board and roar like the mighty chess lion that he is. Grischuk takes on d4, best move. Magnus recapturing with the pawn, wants the big centre, but after knight d7 we need to take stock here, because although this looks really impressive, when you really start clicking around here, you note that black has a many ways here to undermine the centre. f5's a big one, c5's another. Knight b6 into c4 is another big idea. So black's got a lot of latent threats sitting under the surface, bubbling. Magnus decides it's time to go e5. He blocks this bishop. He prepares f5. How's Grischuk going to fight back here? Well, with bishop c4. f5 was also very playable. Bishop d3 is best from Magnus here, but not played. Full-blooded, he pounces with the f-pawn, pushing it further down the board, but this is the moment that Alexander Grischuk unleashes a beautiful, deep sacrifice of a piece. He plays knight takes on e5, a thunderbolt. Magnus surely missed this, because after pawn recaptures, simply bishop takes was played, so that's 2 pawns for the knight. You're hitting the rook in the corner. Magnus saves it here. And after queen takes, not the best moves from both players, but let's crack on with the game because they are decent. Bishop recapturing to cover knight. We now see bishop takes on a2. That's 1, 2, 3 pawns connected, running past for the piece. Great understanding from Grischuk. And if white takes here, not played, then bishop c4 is actually very strong. You kind of lock this rook out the game. This one's running really fast, and it's the bishops that are killing in this position, escorting the a-pawn home. And it's very difficult to go bishop d4 with this pin here. If you try rook e1, there's rook fe8. So you still can't do this or this, and a rook drops. Really problematic. And if you can't go bishop d4, there goes the pawn. So let's back up. Magnus didn't eat it. He played bishop d4 immediately, sensing the strength of this bishop. Takes was played. Knight recaptures, hits the c6 pawn, but more great play. Bishop c4, leaving this one to hang. Magnus should play rook e1 as the best move. He jumps in with the bishop though, takes his played, knight recaptures, and before you can say, draw me like one of those French girls, there's Ali Reza sprawled out, elegantly relaxing on the bed in a game there against Javakir Sindarov. What a sight it is to behold. An excellent sketch was made that day. Space is gained by Grishchuk. We see rook takes on c6 now. What was better? Apparently knight d4. But it's so tough, low on time. Magnus blitzing. Look how powerful these pawns are. This is the depth of understanding that Grishchuk showed earlier on when he sacrificed the piece. Pawn b2, so close to the promised land here. Knight hopping back now. Rook fc8 gets this powerful one off the board. It was annoying, it was active, and it shows just how much time Black's got. Because even with the rooks gone, a pair of them, this one is now decisive, invading, hitting the knight. It backs up to b1, rook c1 on the board. Can't take, of course, here, or the queen goes through. So f6 from Magnus. Let's at least go for some trickery in an ideal world. h5, not forced, but gives the king some luft. Now knight a3 and rook a1. And how do you fight against all these problems? If you back up with the knight from whence you came, then there's pawn a3, this kind of thing. You have to start giving pieces basically, and still you go on to make the queen. So in the game, we saw Magnus play rook b1, supported by the knight, giving the piece, but at least he can munch this, try and cling on desperately for the draw. But after Sasha blocks the way there with rook b3, forcing Magnus over, rook b8 back, no checks, rook a2, rook a8, we see the massive problem. Yes, the king can run in, but with this one so powerful, rook behind it, g5 on the board, Magnus had seen enough, resigned this position. The big issue is that even if the king gets over and wins this pawn and the rooks go into the blender, the black king is going to waltz round, eat f6, keep marching, come for these pawns, and then you're running 3 on 2 over there on the king side. It's a completely lost endgame. Magnus goes down in the 3-0 Thursday. A little bit of a fun one today that I thought I'd bring you. Hope you enjoyed this one. Do have a look at the video on the screen if you want to see another epic game of chess. And I hope to see you again soon. Cheers.
2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. And we're dancing it, and it looks like skipping almost, doesn't it?